Hello, hello. Happy Sunday. We're going to be covering kind of an interesting topic today, one I hope I would never have to cover. But alas, we do. So, unless you've been living under a rock, the 40th anniversary edition for Microsoft Flight Simulator did drop on Friday, and everyone was really hyped for it. A lot of people were excited for the things that were going to come, and personally, I've been totally let down. Asobo, with, I'm just going to say it, their anti military stance have taken out the C-47. It's gone. It does not exist. The only thing that you get is a DC-3 with like 5 skins, most of which are bare metal, and you get some fake liveries. It's tragic. It's embarrassing, and we need to demand better from Asobo. I'm sorry, but there's no reason for it. You can't tell me you're worried about an ESRB rating from a painted aircraft. You can't. You can't tell me you're worried about an ESRB rating because of paratroopers with rifles on their back. That's not a thing in the ESRB. That is nowhere in the realm of a rating. That's not. I've done my research. The depiction of weapons does not affect a rating. So let's get into it a little bit. Where did it go wrong? What went wrong? And what do we have to look forward to from here? So, Aeroplane Heaven was very, very quiet after that aircraft. I'm just going to say it was stolen, bought out from under them by Asobo. And go find their original post here. I believe it was in. There it is. Funny enough, there I am. So we're going to require the paratroopers to be stripped out to comply with their no weapons policy 21 weeks ago. This was June 12th. They announced that this was now in Asobo's hands. In that time, since June 12th, Asobo took every single livery out. They totally destroyed the C-47. It's not there. It doesn't exist. The C-47 and DC-3 are different aircraft. We're going to get into that. So, what are they thinking? I think it's a fair question. And we saw a lot of updates throughout March. Here's their post, March 14th. Very close to release. This is when it was stolen. I'm just gonna say it. This was really stolen from them, I think. And you see all the liveries here. Now this is a DC-3. They are different aircraft. Again, we're gonna get into that. But you can see all the lovely liveries they have here. We're just gonna go through them, see all those, and then here's the C-47. This is a DC-3. This is a civilian transport. They are not the same. There are significant differences up top here. The engines are different. The cowlings are different. You can see here the cowling for the engine is totally different. The top of the aircraft is different. The number of windows is different. Not the same plane, and we don't have this. So where's it gone? What did Asobo do to it? Where are liveries? These interiors aren't in the C-47. I can tell you that. You get one interior, and that's it. You get a cargo variant with no liveries again. So I have asked on the forums, I created a post right before I launched this recording asking what's going on with it. I want an answer. I want an answer from Asobo. I do. They owe it to us. I'm sorry, this aircraft in its current state, if it was released in its current state, I would not buy it. I don't think it's up to par. There's a lot of bugs with it that if Asobo had done any level of testing, they would have found. Pretty clear they didn't. Pretty clear they didn't with the Jenny and the A310 as well, because those both have terrible screeching multiplayer bugs where we'll bleed into your aircraft. I was 5,000 feet above a field in an F-16, and I could hear the A310 screeching in my cockpit. I've uninstalled it, and I'll probably uninstall the Jenny too. This 40th anniversary feels lazy. it feels like Asobo were scrambling for aircraft in the June timeframe. I'm going to wager, based on the timing of that Aeroplane Heaven post, this aircraft was taken from them in the April to May timeframe. And I'm going to wager that that's when they started contacting people in April to May. Now, anybody that knows anything about development cycles, April to November is not an adequate time to develop something. I think Asobo were scrambling. I think that they had this thought at the beginning of spring in that March to April timeframe, and they were like, "Oh no, we want these aircraft from these other sims that we had in here. What do we do?" They scrambled to these developers. They took the aircraft from them, and that was it. They let them sit for 10 months. I mean, not 10 months, but you get the drift. They let them sit. Probably, I'm going to guess these aircraft were probably completed in May. Short final for Airplane Heaven. I'm going to guess that aircraft would have launched in April. They probably were in the bug cleaning up phase. And when they got it from, we're going to go to launch, Asobo came in and took it from them. Now, the other question, will we ever get the C-47? No, we're not. I'm just going to go back to Airplanes Heaven's social media here, and I'm just going to highlight a couple of things that they have said, and then something that they did today that tells me we're never going to see that aircraft. So, you got your legalese nonsense here. Specifications of the package will be different. Microsoft protocols, aka we hate military aircraft, they won't say it, but they do. There's plenty of evidence to back that they do. The only time that they've put military aircraft in the sim on their own accord is when they've been paid to do it. I mean, these are facts. We can't argue them. Paramount paid him to put the Super Hornet in. That thing's terrible. That's the worst fighter aircraft I've flown in a sim. It handles like a wet paper bag. They've done nothing to improve it. They continually ignore requests to improve it. Their only inclination was when they were paid. I will guarantee you the Reno Air Races expansion with the Mustangs, which have gun ports on them, that was paid too. There was money involved there. But when there isn't money involved, you can't have even gun ports on your aircraft. Excuse me? The only explanation I have, they keep saying it's ESRB. It's not. ESRB ratings have no impact based on weapons. They have it based on violence. So it's a general aviation sim. All we want to do is fly a warbird in a period correct configuration. That's it. We're not asking to blow people up. So back to their statement here. We will be producing a number of free livery packs. So all that we may get is a livery of a DC-3 that looks like a C-47 in paint scheme only, which we already have. It's not phenomenal. But we already have that. So if that's their route that they're going to take, where is it? My only explanation for it not these livery packs not being out at launch, and I was talking with a friend about this, is Airplane Heaven had no clue what Asobo did to their plane. And I think that that's probably correct. I think Asobo, I see a lot of similarities between them and Wargaming. They don't communicate well. Their bug list is gigantic, and there's bugs that have been in the sim for years since launch, and it's still listed as under investigation. So we get new content, but we're not going to fix things. It's very wargaming. I'm sorry, it just is. I love the sim. I want it to get better, and I'm sorry, but this is how it gets better. You don't get better by just accepting nonsense and going on with it. You make things better by expecting more and asking these questions of your developer. You have to hold their feet to the fire. I've done my research. The player numbers for Flight Sim have gone down a lot since launch. You fly anywhere but a big city now, you typically don't see players. So back to Aeroplane Heaven. Um, they're being very vague here. Speculation. It just says free livery packs. And then you go up here to some of these more recent posts. Oh, look at today. Hey, let's redirect the topic, guys. We're going to put out a Lancaster. So are you going to work on that or not? And also it says in another spot, let me read one of their other statements. Hold on. That, God, I hate Facebook. Like I mentioned, it is now in Microsoft ownership. Any further news or updates will come from them. So it's dead. What the DC3 is right now is what it's going to be. They're not going to update it. You're not going to get a C-47. You're not going to get anything other than some half-baked liveries from these guys because they didn't even know about it. They didn't know Asobo had done this. I will wager $100 that they had no clue what Asobo did to their aircraft until it launched. Am I going to touch this Lancaster? I don't know. Probably not. I'm just going to be totally frank. I don't think I will. We'll see what comes from it. But yeah, we've got a lot of soul searching to do about this sim and its direction, guys. I'm sorry, but all the aircraft that came out with this 40th anniversary have been very, very buggy and half baked. And that tells me that, like I said, they scrambled, they got these, and they never touched them again. That's not a good sign. That's wargaming. So I'm gonna keep making videos like this because I think that this is what you have to do to get a better sim. You do. You have to ask the questions. So we will see you guys later tonight on stream. We're gonna fly the DC3 or try to. We had all kind of issues with it yesterday, all kinds of bugs. I've seen a couple of fixes. I've tried them. We'll see if it goes well. But thank you for joining me, guys, and I hope you enjoy this content. Thanks.